Hey, language lovers! Welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a fascinating concept that can help you understand multiple languages by looking at something called Ablaut. Now, you might be thinking, what in the world is Ablaut? Don't worry, we're going to break it down and show how this tiny sound shift could be a powerful tool for understanding languages across the board. Ablaut is a linguistic term that describes a system of vowel changes within words, often used to signal grammatical differences like tense or pluralization. We can see it in action in a lot of languages, especially those in the Indo-European family. If you've ever wondered why the word sing changes to sang in the past tense and sung as a past participle, that's Ablaut in action. So what's so special about Ablaut? Well, by understanding these vowel shifts, you can start to pick up on patterns across languages, making it easier to guess words and grammar in languages you don't even speak. Let's take a closer look at how it works. Ablaut is a vowel-changing pattern that comes from Proto-Indo-European, or PIE for short, which is the ancient ancestor of languages like English, German, Latin, and even Sanskrit. These vowel changes, often called grades, weren't random. They signaled different grammatical information like tense or plurality. Let's look at some examples. English, for instance, has irregular verbs where the root vowel shifts to signal tense. Words like swim, swam, and swum follow this pattern. And German has similar verbs like springen, which means to jump, that changes to sprang in the past tense. So if you know that Ablaut exists, you can start to spot these patterns in languages like German or Dutch, and it'll give you a head start on verbs and even nouns. Text on screen 3. How Ablaut helps with verb conjugations and noun forms. Presenter. Ablaut is especially noticeable in verbs. Let's take German again. The verb sprechen, which means to speak, changes to sprach in the past tense, similar to how speak changes to spoke in English. Pretty cool, right? These shared patterns help you recognize connections between words across languages. Presenter, and Ablaut isn't limited to verbs. In English, we even use it in nouns, like man and men, where the vowel shift shows singular versus plural. You can find similar examples in other Indo-European languages too. Text on screen 4. Using Ablaut patterns to learn multiple languages. Presenter. So how can Ablaut actually help you learn multiple languages? Well, once you start recognizing these sound shifts, you can use them as clues. In German, for example, you can notice that certain verbs follow Ablaut patterns. Let's say you see a verb like laufen, which means to run. In the past tense, it changes to lief, which is kind of similar to run and ran in English. Presenter? Seeing these similarities reinforces the idea that learning a language doesn't mean starting from scratch. Instead, you're connecting patterns you already know. Text on screen 5. Ablaut versus umlaut, with presenter giving a quick breakdown. Presenter, now quick sidebar. If you're learning German, you might have heard about something called umlaut, which is also a vowel shift, but it's different from Ablaut. Umlaut happens when vowels change to match other vowels within a word. Ablaut, on the other hand, is about historical changes that carry grammatical meaning. Ablaut can also help you find cognates, words that share a common origin, in different languages. For example, the English word foot and the German word Fuss both come from a similar root in Proto-Indo-European. By seeing these patterns, you can guess words in related languages even if you've never studied them. Ablaut is mostly found in Indo-European languages, but other languages have similar systems of vowel changes. For instance, in Arabic, there's a pattern of internal vowel changes in verbs to show tense or voice. It's not exactly the same as Ablaut, but it's a similar way to pack meaning into a small vowel shift. One of the coolest things about Ablaut is that it gives us a peek into how languages evolve. For instance, English mostly regularized its verbs by adding ed to the past tense. But strong verbs with Ablaut patterns like sing, sang, sung have stuck around. So by studying Ablaut, you get a little glimpse of history embedded in our everyday words. All right, ready to put Ablaut into action. Here are a few exercises to try. 1. Verb pattern recognition. Make a list of strong verbs in English and German. Compare their past tense forms and look for patterns. 2. Cognate matching. Choose words in English and German that sound similar, like tooth and Zahn. See if you can spot Ablaut patterns. 3. Create sentences. Write sentences using Ablaut verbs in different tenses. It'll help make the pattern stick. And that's Ablaut. By understanding these vowel shifts, you can spot patterns across languages, connect to ancient roots, and get a little closer to fluency faster. If you enjoyed today's dive into linguistic history, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which language you want to learn next. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy learning!